Hello, my name is Masha Kuzmenko, and I haven't had sex in over a year. And don't get me wrong, I love sex. But after my first real adult relationship and learning about attachment styles, feeling my feelings, and truly falling in love with myself, here I am. Let's start from the beginning. I discovered that my upbringing affected every adult relationship in my life. And what I mean by that is romantic relationships. When we're born from age 0 to 6, we're like a sponge. We soak in all the information around us. So we don't really know what life is truly like besides our surrounding environment. It also includes the relationship between our caretakers and their mental and emotional state. It also includes our mother when she's carrying us in the womb and her mental and emotional state. Let me preface here that I am so blessed for my parents, and I want to express my utmost gratitude to them for giving me this life and for doing the best they could with the resources that they had at the time. My father moved us from the collapsing USSR to a constant fear, possible war breaking out in Israel, to the American dream. And I have been to the former USSR, now Kyrgyzstan, visiting my relatives, and life is very different. Even my relatives in Israel have a different perspective and point of view. I am very grateful for this freedom that I have here and for this opportunity to continue to raise my consciousness. My parents had me in their 20s, and I remember when I was in my 20s, I wasn't as aware of all of this as I am today. And as I get older, I'm starting to realize that a lot of the beliefs, positive and negative, stem from a young age. This brings me to what I learned after my big heartbreak with my long-term adult relationship. I learned about attachment styles. Thank you, psychologists John Bowlby and Marie Ainsworth, for your work. I'll summarize it for you. There are 4 attachment styles. One is secure attachment. One is the anxious attachment, that does get very anxious when a partner leaves, and this one I used to identify with. One is the avoidant attachment, and that's when the person avoids deep feelings and runs away. And the 4th one is a disorganized attachment, is when you might be recreating abusive patterns from your childhood in an adult relationship. Does anyone here have an attachment style that is not secure? And has anyone been aware of how they imprinted that attachment style onto their child? On top of these attachment styles, I also discovered that I had a lot of emotions that I did not release as a young girl and adolescence, and I ended up releasing them all onto my previous partnership. And I realized that all of these suppressed emotions that we hold inside need to be expressed in a healthy way throughout our lifetime. I really learned about these stagnant emotions when my mother was diagnosed with cancer, and she actually passed away. But we realized later on, as she was passing, that her brothers beat her when she was a little girl, and that's safety at home. Her cancer was cervical cancer in the root chakra, which I won't get into, but that is where safety begins. So she was never able to express her emotions or tell her story, so her chi and her blood flow was stagnant in a certain part of her body. When you're able to express your emotions in a healthy way, your blood flows through and your chi circulates. We actually all get cancer cells in our lifetime, 7 to 10 times. And if you are able to express yourself and release your emotions and speak out what's bothering you, the pain that's inside, then your blood will flow and circulate. So, yes, being in a long term relationship in my adolescence, in my young age, I've discovered many things about myself that have led me to true self love and happiness. When you accept yourself for who you are, when you do the work and always feel your emotions to your fullest, that's when you truly fall in love with yourself. When you forgive yourself and forgive those all around you, that love grows even deeper.